As a colossal ship glowing with fire lands in an area made entirely of ice, an army of small Koopas head forward and take their position in front of a large ice castle before one of them wearing a mage's robes steps forward and welcomes King of the Koopas Bowser, a large, intimidating Koopa, who tells the castle's inhabitants to open the gates or die. As the large gate slowly swings open, a few Koopas shrink in fear before a penguin king majestically steps forward and directs his troops forward, who pelt Bowser with tiny snowballs and tell him to yield, but he does not as the mage immobilizes all the penguins before Bowser breathes out huge spurts of flame at the castle and completely destroys it. Once it's in ruins, he sees something glowing at the castle's top, or at least what left of it, and jumps forward to strike open a box before taking a magnificent, glowing start from inside it, saying that no one can stop him now that he's finally found it. Meanwhile, an ad boastfully showing the full capabilities of the two Mario brothers in plumbing plays on a TV, in which a woman overexcitedly exclaims that the only thing they haven't drained is her bank account. As Mario and Luigi excitedly see it play out, they happily embrace and compliment each other, saying they produce cinema when Spike starts taunting them for being Brooklyn's favorite failures, and asks if they'd even received one call, to which Luigi boastingly says that their mother called for producing the best commercial she's ever seen. Spike heartily laughs and wishes Mario luck for partnering up with an idiot like Luigi, but he threateningly tells him to not say anything about his brother, in answer to which Spike slams Mario down on the floor before walking away. Luigi tells him to not go forward like that, but Mario says that he can't be so soft all the time before they receive a phone call asking for help with the drip in their faucet. The two brothers excitedly hug each other and get on their car to leave, but it refuses to start, so Mario spots an area under construction, which they cross like an obstacle course before reaching the very posh-looking house. They go inside and the couple show them the sink, but as they get there, Luigi accidentally steps on their dog's biscuit and fearfully walks by as it looks at him in anger. They easily fix the sink, but the dog corners them inside and tries to attack them, which results in the entire plumbing system breaking down and them nearly saving it from falling down the window and dying a painful death. Later, as they sit down to eat dinner, Mario voices his dislike against mushrooms, and his relatives make fun of him for spending money on ad before asking when the Oscars are going to pour in. His mom tries to defend him, but his father remarks that he's wasting his and his brother's time, after which he gets up and leaves from the table. Luigi later brings him food before he tells him that he's tired of being looked down on and seeing an ad for the Brooklyn sewage system breaking down. They hurry to the spot and fall down a broken pipe, after which they wander around large halls and wonder before Luigi disappears near a green pipe. Mario tries to look for him but ends up getting sucked inside it. As he travels through pathways to different worlds in shock, he grabs Luigi's hand, but they're torn apart when Luigi gets sucked inside a coal-colored burning pipe. Mario reaches a world filled with giant mushrooms and meets a small creature named Toad, who patiently listens to his story before taking him to Princess Peaches, who's about to leave to form an alliance with the Kong clan and beat Bowser, but stops when she shockingly looks at a human for the first time. He asks her to take him as well on her quest to defeat Bowser, so that he can find his brother Luigi, so she takes him to a large obstacle course and tells him to defeat it to be able to come with her. Mario spends the entire day making unsuccessful attempts to reach the end of the course, but finally almost gets it before being chomped on by a poisonous plant at the last stretch. Peaches consoles him and says it was his first time experiencing something like this, but he catches on and guesses that she immediately got the hang of it, which she admits, but reminds him that she's lived here her whole life. Meanwhile, all the Koopas and Goombas are wildly partying when Bowser stands up from his throne and says that now that they become the strongest forces in the universe and have the star, he'll gift it to Peaches when he proposes for her to marry him. But when the Koopas worryingly asks what he'll do if she rejects him, he burns it to a skeleton and says he'll use it to power himself up and destroy the entire Mushroom Kingdom before telling them all to get ready for the best wedding ever. On the other end, Luigi is being roughly taken as a prisoner to Bowser as he sadly reminisces on how Mario always stood up for him. Peaches and Mario happily walk out of the castle to tumultuous roar and applause and encounter Toad on their way, who says he's going to join them on their journey, for which she impressively appreciates him. In the meantime, Bowser is romantically singing a sword for Peaches accompanied by his heartfelt piano tune, but is stopped by the Chief Koopa, who tells him that a man with a mustache has been seen walking with Peaches and suspects that they're up to something, so Bowser angrily slams the cover down and tells him to find out who the man is as well as what he's up to. Peaches and Mario stand in a field filled with glowing flowers that change the color of her dress when touched, and she assures him that they'll find his brother, while Luigi is taken at Bowser in chains and heavily interrogated about Mario and his lickability before being thrown into cages along with all the other prisoners. As Peaches, Mario, and Toad reach the Kong Kingdom, they ask to be taken to the king, so a blonde-colored Kong seats them on a go-kart before wildly driving away through the many weaving roads and paths created along the kingdom before reaching the king, who asks her what she has in exchange for the greatest army in the world, to which she replies that while they have strength, she and her people have heart, which the king sarcastically makes fun of before declining the offer and telling them to go back, but Mario steps forward and says that they're not leaving without taking his army. Amused, the king decides to give them a chance and agrees to support them with his army if Mario is able to defeat his son in the Great Ring of Kong. Later, he nervously walks up to the stage and gets ready to fight whatever comes at him when the opposite door opens to reveal a large gorilla named Donkey Kong step forward to loud applause and cheers as he coolly shows off his pecs to the onlookers. As the battle begins, Mario rushes forward to attack first, but is easily stopped by Donkey Kong, who beats him up from every which way before throwing him away. As he slowly gets up, he notices a power-up above him and goes for it to get bigger, but ends up shrinking in size, after which he gets thrown away by a finger flick. Mario slowly wobbles up again, but this time, Donkey Kong throws him upward, where he abruptly notices Peach's face while hovering in the air and uses a cat power-up to swiftly beat the hell out of Donkey Kong and make him surrender. Once the fight is over, the king shows them a map and says that Bowser is going to be entering Mushroom Kingdom through a route. However, they can use the element of surprise to beat him to the punch, get there through a shortcut, and ambush him when he's not ready. So they go design their carts and choose simplistic yet powerful designs, while Toad creates an absolute monster truck. The entire army, along with the king, Donkey Kong, Toad, Peaches, and Mario, excitedly head out and are driving through a rainbow road when Peaches asks him if there are things like that in his universe, which he denies and says rainbows aren't meant to be rode on and that turtles are kept as pets in Brooklyn, before saying that he'll show them to her if she ever visits his world, before Donkey Kong catches him up and teasingly asks if he's flirting with a princess. Suddenly, Bowser's army attack them all at once, and one's particular Koopa with a large killer cart targets Mario specifically, so he leads it to a different path before jumping backwards, kicking it off and joining Donkey Kong in his, while Peaches grabs Toad, whose car was destroyed, and they all ride away, but one Koopa transforms into a living bomb and hurls itself at Mario and Donkey Kong, who fall into the sea since the path got destroyed. Peaches and Toad make it to the Mushroom Kingdom alone and instruct the residents to evacuate quickly, since Bowser will be coming soon, and take up arms to go face the colossal ship that brings darkness with it. Bowser asks her to marry him since he now has the star, but she instantly refuses without even giving it a thought, so he has his chief Koopa torture Toad, seeing which she reluctantly agrees to marry him on the condition that he won't hurt any Toads, to which he gives her his word. Meanwhile, Mario saves Donkey Kong from drowning, but they're instantly swallowed by a large sea beast and slowly pass their time before starting to insult each other in its stomach. A huge breeze of wind suddenly slams them backwards, and they both land onto his cart, on which their eyes land on the rocket above it before they power it up and fly out of the gigantic fish's mouth. As Peaches is ready to go to the stage for her and Bowser's wedding, Toad brings her a bouquet and she eloquently walks to the stage before revealing that she never meant to marry him, and using an ice power-up flower to freeze him and the innocent prisoners he was about to sacrifice, including Luigi. Meanwhile, Donkey Kong and Mario enter the Mushroom Kingdom before he takes a fire power up, and when they go farther up, Mario takes a flying raccoon one so that they reach the top quickly, but Luigi's cage slowly melts as the ice thaws off, and he's about to enter the lava when Mario saves him before quickly flying towards the large bomb Bowser had directed at the kingdom in his fury after thawing and seeing Mario and Peach together. He leads it towards the pipe they came from and explodes inside it, destroying the pathway and opening up the entire universe before they're all teleported to Brooklyn, where Bowser angrily beats Mario up, but when he sees his and Luigi's ad, he gathers his courage and goes out to face him before trying to run toward the star that he and Luigi take together and use to defeat Bowser and shrink him before imprisoning him in a jar, as their parents happily hug them with pride and everyone cheers for the Super Mario Brothers. Later, the two wake up at 8 a.m. and take their plumbing equipment before heading out of their house in the Mushroom Kingdom.